Hey everybody, welcome back to Diecast, driven with your host, Matthew Carr. Today we have the last two band cars that I have in my collection. One, as you see here, is the Megadeth Machine, driven by Tyler Reddick in 2019 in the Xfinity Series. The race was the Roxor 200 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and it was an absolute beatdown by Christopher Bell. He led 186 of the 200 laps. Unfortunately, Tyler Reddick wasn't able to bring this car home for the win, which would have been cool to have a race version of it. The Gimme Radio and Megadeth sponsored car, as you see here, was brought home in the 4th position after starting 11th. Didn't lead any laps. Bell pretty much took care of everybody that day. When this car was up for pre-order through RCR, it was an exclusive through them, and it was only, I think it was like $68 or $86. It was relatively cheap, and it didn't even say that it was autographed or anything. It just said Tyler Reddick, Megadeth, Gimme Radio, 124 scale car. And so, of course, Megadeth being one of my top 5 favorite bands, I ordered this car, and to my surprise, when it arrived, it was autographed, which is kind of cool. I'm not really a big Tyler Reddick fan, never really have been. But they did have the option to have the car double signed by Dave Mustaine, and I decided not to jump for that option because I didn't really want to spend the money at the time. Looking back, I probably should have, as this particular car goes for a couple $100s on eBay every time that one is even on there, and it's very rare that you even see one. So overall, this car is a really cool paint scheme. I do like black and red as the color combination, as I mentioned last week in the Aerosmith car. So this car has a similar paint scheme with the black, red, and it's kind of got grayish undertone with the mascot for Megadeth. So overall, pretty neat car. I really enjoy the paint scheme. I'm glad to have it as part of the collection. And now we'll move on to the Guns N' Roses car that Erik Jones drove in the 2023 Daytona 500. I was very excited to see this car hit the track, and if I wanted any driver to win that weekend, it was this car with Erik Jones behind the wheel. Again, not really a big fan of Erik Jones in his career. Didn't really care one way or the other for him. But I was super excited to see this paint scheme hit the track. Again, similar to all the other ones, it's got that black undertone base color, similar to rock and metal bands. It's just they typically have black as their main color. Unfortunately, Erik was caught up in a wreck only 118 laps into the race. So the car saw a little over half of the race. His hopes for winning were dashed, and he DNF'd. Didn't lead any laps. Started the race 25th. Ended up finishing 37th. So pretty unfortunate day. But I actually have been able to see Guns N' Roses in concert twice. It was pretty neat. In 2016, my friend and I went to Cincinnati to see them, and then another time at Cleveland. Cincinnati was definitely the better concert as it was an outdoor venue. It allowed for the sound to escape, which was huge compared to Cleveland. You left there with your ears ringing, but it was still a great concert both times. I was very glad to go see them live, as most of the bands that I like are older, and you don't really get to see them live anymore because they're starting to wind down. Next week, we're going to start the Ross Chastain collection. It's not a ton of cars, but I'm looking forward to starting that. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.